Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Nicole, and I am here with another message. And this message is based on a dream that I recently had, and God has released me to speak about it and to deliver a message on it. So, in this dream, I was in a waiting area. I had all of my possessions, like everything packed up. It was as if we were going on vacation, and it was me and quite a few other people. So that was another way I knew that the dream wasn't just for me. Um, and we were sitting in the waiting area, and then as we were sitting in the waiting area, there were some things that some people, some familiar faces in that area as well. Uh, some familiar faces from my life that was there, and it just seemed the people were acting really awkward and weird. They didn't really say much to me. They didn't say much to me, which said a lot. Anyway, we sat there, and then they called for us to get up to line up because we were getting ready to head out. But when they called for us to line up to head out, we were we had to leave all of our stuff behind, but we had to bring our identifications with us. And so as we were all lined up, we were lined up getting ready to cross over like this border. So we were getting ready to basically, cross over this border. So the Holy Spirit kept mentioning to me, even in this dream, like, make sure you have your credentials to cross over. And it kept saying it, but the spirit kept saying it, but I was kind of ignoring it because I'm like, oh, I got my credentials, like just not even really paying attention to the Holy Spirit. And so as we were getting closer to the crossover, um, or the gate, the person that was in front of me, it's like the Holy Spirit got louder, so I decided to ask the person in front of me who um, who had I assumed had my stuff, because I had actually had this guy hold on to my credentials, and he had the guy that was sitting and standing in front of me hold his credentials, which means he was holding my credentials as well. So I asked him, do you have my credentials to cross over? And we needed our ID, and we also needed our passport. So he said, I have your ID, but I don't have your passport. And I was just like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. So I ran back to the waiting area. And when I got back to the waiting area, um, and I started going through my bags, my passport was not there. And so I called home to see if, anyone had seen my passport. And long story short, I had to drive back home to get my passport. So it was, we were set to leave at a certain time. We lined up at a certain time, so it was like 11 something. And then I knew that if I had to go get my passport, it would be uh, an hour to do that. And because we were leaving the country, we were leaving the local territory. I needed to be there 3 hours prior to takeoff. I mean, if anyone has ever flown out of country, you know that they require us to be at the airport 3 hours prior to takeoff. And so I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. But I calmed down, and I just started just making sure everything, just checking everything. So I realized that at that time it was 11:34, and it would take me, since it took me an hour to get home to get my passport and get back, I will arrive get back at exactly 12:34, and the flight was set to leave, or the crossing over, whatever it was set to leave. We were set to go at 3:34. So God speaks to me through numbers, and because he gave me specific numbers, and I knew that he was letting me know that these numbers were significant in this dream. So I went and looked up the numbers in the Strong's Concordance, and 1134 meant wealth. It meant an army. In the Greek, okay, so those are the Hebrew meanings, and in the Greek it means wife. So this is whoever this crossover is pertaining to. These are some of the things that you're expecting once you get into that promised land, to your marriage, your promise of marriage, or he's promised you abundance, wealth, or whatever. But I know that these had to mean something. And then the 1234, which is 1234, which means, I think I'm pronouncing it correctly, baka, that actually means to break open or break through. Meaning this crossover into the promised land is where you're going to experience your breakthrough. That's going to be your breakthrough. That's you breaking through. And then the 334 in the Hebrew means to shut up, bound, which means impede or delay. And the reason why it's delayed is because the Holy Spirit kept speaking to me in order to prepare me to be able to cross over with the no issues. But I wasn't paying him any attention. So this is to let you know, whoever this is pertaining to, the Holy Spirit is speaking to you in this hour. He's giving you instructions on what to do. So you need to be very sensitive to the Spirit. You need to spend your quiet time in a secret place to hear what these instructions are, because not paying attention or not hearing these instructions is causing a delay. God has already spoken to some of us to let us know what we needed to do, but we're behind because we have too many voices. We're listening to too many voices. We have too many distractions around us. So we have to quiet down the distractions so that we're able to hear the Holy Spirit speak to us. Because, as you all know, the ones that hear God's voice and know God's voice, He's speaking a small, still voice. And if you're not like in position where you could hear Him, you would miss it. So that was a word in itself. So another thing that he pointed out was the fact that everything, all of the possessions, all of our old stuff was left behind. We couldn't take anything with us but the credentials in order to cross over. We had to leave everything behind us. Everything was left in the waiting room because we were crossing over. So I don't know if you caught the first part when I said that there were some familiar faces there. When I went back to get my passport, those familiar faces were still in that waiting room. So this might be for some people that God is telling you that some people that you're trying to take with you cannot go with you. You have to leave them behind in order for you to cross over. So yeah, so those people have to, there's some people that just cannot go into your next with you. You have to leave them behind. Um, a lot of your possessions have to leave. You have to leave behind. And if he's making you leave some things behind, trust me, there's a reason why. And the fact that this is a breakthrough, I'm pretty sure that he's doing this because you're getting ready to walk into something new. He's enlarging your territory. He's enlarging your coast. He's taking you global. Trust me, if he's making you leave that stuff behind, he has something much better in store for you. He's upgrading you. So that stuff you wouldn't even You wouldn't even want it anyway. So why even, carry all that baggage with you just to end up tossing it anyway? So I think that I touched on everything that needed to be. Oh, another thing, the fact that I was allowing someone else to hold on to my stuff. You don't want to do that. You want to make sure that in this hour you're not listening, you're not taking anyone else's word for what God is doing for you in this season. Make sure you're getting it for yourself. Everything you have, you need, you make sure you're getting it from God Himself, from the secret place of wherever you spend that time in intimacy with God. Make sure you're getting it from Him, not from third parties, not from prophetic voices. Not make sure if the only reason why you should be listening to a prophetic voice is to confirm what God has already told you. So you need to hear it straight from your Father's mouth. Hear it straight from your Father's mouth. Be sensitive to the Spirit so you don't miss no instructions. Quiet down your distractions. Get into that secret place as much as you want to, because some of us are already delayed and we don't want to delay it any further. We do not want to miss our season. We do not want to miss our season. So yeah, I think I covered everything. I do. So I hope that this message was clear enough. I hope that it confirms some things that God had already spoken to you about what He's doing for you in this season. And until next time, you have a great one. Bye bye.